Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to Atlanta Grill Company. Today we're going to fire up the Kamado Joe Classic and we're going to smoke a chub of Bologna. So let's get started. I'm going to get my Kamado Joe Classic 3 set up here. I've got a fire lit in the firebox. I've got some pecan and cherry wood chunks in there to create a little bit of smoke. So I'm going to put both halves of the grill grate in the low position on top of the slow roller. And I'm going to set this grill up to run at 225 degrees. And while the grill's coming up to temperature, we'll get our Bologna ready. Okay, the star of our show here is a 5-pound chub of Bologna. And I've gone ahead and taken my knife and I've scored this. I don't know how well you can see it here in the video, but it's gonna separate a little bit as we cook it. But what we're gonna do to start out with here is we're gonna put a layer of just plain yellow mustard on the outside of this. I'm gonna smear mustard all over it. And this mustard is just going to act as a binder for our rub. And today we're going to use the Atlanta Grill Company of volcano dust. So I'm just going to get a nice liberal coat of this all over the outside of this chub. And I'm just going to get that patted in there. And we're going to let that sit here and let that bind for a few minutes as our grill comes up to temperature. Okay, our grill's up to temp. So I'm going to pop the lid open and we're going to set this guy right here in the middle, and we're going to let this smoke for about 3 hours or so. Bologna's cooked already, so there's not a whole lot you have to do with it. What we want to do is just get some caramelization on that and let those scores that we put in there open up, and then when that thing starts to look real nice like that, we're going to baste it with a little bit of barbecue sauce. So we'll come back and have a look at this in about an hour and see where we are. We've been popping along here for about an hour, and you can get an eye here now at what this is starting to look like as those scores are starting to open up. So we're just going to let this continue for probably about 2 more hours before we start to baste it with some sauce. Okay, we've been going just a little over 3 hours here. This guy's taking on a good bit of smoke. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to baste this guy with some of the Atlanta Grill Company sweet and spicy barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to pour some of that on the top of this, and I'm going to work it over with my basting brush. We'll get a nice glaze of that on there, and then I'm going to close this up, and we're going to let it go for another 30 minutes or so to let that set up. Okay, after another 30 minutes or so, this guy's ready. So I'm going to take it off and we're going to have a look at it. Okay, so I've taken this off the grill. I've sliced this up. I like to slice these up fairly thickly, and I like to make sandwiches with these guys. And one of the things I like to do commonly to make a sandwich with this is I like to pan sear these in a little bit of butter or a little bit of oil or something, just to put a little bit of sear on each slice. You can also serve these just like this. You can dice this. You can do whatever you want. You can put it in other recipes. It's just a really good, really inexpensive way to put together a lot of meat at one time for not a lot of money. So guys, give this a try. Let me know what you think. Until next time, this is John Setzler with Atlanta Grill Company.